Wonderful. Hello. It's just a wonderful thing. I'm spilling my drink everywhere. Okay, now that I've fixed that, greetings and salutations. My name is Eric Badrake. I am the project manager and lead designer for Haphazard Projects. I'm the owner of Haphazard Gaming, and we're about to dive into yet another session of the Ahn Chronicles because I just can't get enough of this. Now, I've been reading a little bit because the last couple of sessions really haven't been very interactive, and I found out why. Apparently, when you roll doubles, special things happen, and I had forgotten about it. But then again, I haven't rolled doubles, literally, the entire time that I've been doing this. So, welcome. The story that I'm running, the Ahn Chronicles, is based off of Aether Blood, which is on the screen here. You can see it on your live stream of choice, whether you're at YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. You can see it, and as you can see, this game has been heavily play tested. This game has made it to 2 gaming conventions. I've been interviewed for it. I have talked to a couple of companies about doing an edition for their system. I'm not going to mention them because nothing is final yet. And as you can see, this is still the first printing, but it is a second revisitation of the rules. And the reason I mention this now is because I am in the middle of doing a third revisitation of these rules, a third pass of the DPS system. And it is called the Odyssey engine. And once I'm done with that, we'll convert characters over and we'll start playing with that. That goes on Saturdays. We played this game on Saturdays, just not with the Ahn Chronicles. We're actually playing the Aether Blood Chronicles. So anyway, I just wanted to show a little bit about the Aether Blood Chronicles. Of course, I couldn't have done anything without Morgan and Sophie. They know who they are. I'm not going to call them out to the world because they know who they are. And that's all that matters. So Morgan and Sophie, thank you very much for everything you did to help me make this system. Table of contents I'm very proud of because number one, it all fits on one page. As you can see, it's a pretty simple layout. The mechanics are a bit crunchy, which is one of the things I'm fixing right now. But regardless, this is the game book, which is for sale very, very cheap on DriveThruRPG. It's like $3 if I'm not mistaken. And if it's more than $3, then and you pay more than $3 for your copy, then I will gladly go in there and fix things and give you some free PDFs just for your trouble. But for now, we're going to switch over to the reason we are able to do all this, and that reason is the Mythic Game Master Emulator 2nd Edition by who again? I always mess this up. This is by Wordmill Games. I always try and say press for some reason. Wordmill Games. Amazing book. And this is how we are able to play this game solo. So we're going to pay more attention to the dice rolls now because the game shifts when you roll doubles. And I'd completely forgotten that, but honestly, in my memory, I do not recall rolling doubles at all, like I said a little bit earlier. So let's just dive into it. Now, the first thing I want to express is that these adventure lists that we've been doing, okay? Last session for last night that I ran, this was it. It had 5 locations and a fair number of characters. Okay, I'm going to use this exact same list because the game session did not go as I wanted. We are of course going to reset the chaos factor to 5. What these things basically mean is they are pieces of the machine that randomly determines how the story goes. And the Mythic Game Master Emulator 2nd Edition takes all this information and creates an adventure. Now, there's also the adventure creator, but I did not use that for today. I will probably do another video solely based on that because I love the way it works. It's very, very awesome. But for now, I just want to kind of hop into things. So we're using the exact same adventure list as last time. So I'm going to clear out all these extra adventure lists that I have. Okay. We have the adventure journals from last couple sessions. I'm going to kind of revisit things so that new players can realize what's going on. Episode 1, A New World. Crash. The shock ray assault ship crashes on Earth, or what's left of the ship crashes on Earth. Ahn sees that there are shock ray attack troopers in the vicinity. He's trying to break free of the ship. He was captured. He was about to be executed. So he only sees the one attacker. He defeats them, but then 6 more show up. He defeats them and decides to run away before any more show up. He is interrupted by 9 more shock ray assault troopers on his outmatch. The scene is interrupted by First Contact. Twilight Ops agents come up on scene to investigate the crash site. And Twilight Ops is kind of like this world's police force for capes and criminals and things of that nature. The supernatural, superhuman criminality things. So they investigate things like alien crash sightings and whatnot. So they show up, and Ahn uses the chaos to sneak away. He's able to rest for but a moment. But then he sees the TOPS agents leaving with alien tech. He does not like this. However, local police arrive in force not long after, causing Ahn to run away. The next scene, he's looking for food and water. He can't find game animals, but he manages to trap a few rabbits and squirrels. He can't find the local river that's nearby until after a very long search. He manages to purify some water, but he's found by law enforcement. They agree to look out for shock ray troops and to help Ahn. The next scene, local PD, FBI set him up with an apartment. And Ahn is tracked down by the Strange Man, who is a character in this mythology. The Strange Man is a time traveler, manipulator of grand events, trying to make sure the timeline stays the way it's supposed to. So the Strange Man shows up and tries to convince Ahn that there's a fight he's going to have to step into to protect people. Ahn is trying to ignore this guy and say, "Leave me alone." Strange Man persists. Ahn eventually gives in. So the battle is with a cyborg-type creature who we rolled for randomly. We didn't plan for this. We rolled for him randomly and got a great number of details. On the next scene, tried to sneak up on this super soldier we determined it is. But while trying to get into melee, his advantage is wasted because the soldier recognizes Ahn. So the attack starts, and Ahn manages to hit with the gravity sledge, doing a fair amount of damage. After a grueling battle, Ahn emerges victorious. Back at the safe house, he's watching TV, trying to learn Earth customs. Then this is the next scene. He's trying to recover from the fight that he had just been in because he got hurt pretty bad. And the shock ray find him at home. The apartment is severely damaged. During the battle, in a desperate bid to stay alive, he uses a gravity bomb, which kills all the shock ray. His apartment is ruined. He manages to fix it up enough to rest. That was the end of the first session. 6 scenes in total. Episode 2 was called Visitors. And this was 4 scenes, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, this was 4 scenes. Ahn is drawing a lot of attention to himself walking down the streets of New Philly. He arrives at the library to use the internet to search for various things. He makes an appointment for a house showing because he needs a new home. He meets John Breyer. John Breyer basically helped him out, answered a couple of questions for him. We'll be seeing more of him a little bit later. Probably tomorrow, in fact. So he goes on to the next scene. He's still walking down the street on his way to the house showings. He's attacked by another shock ray assault team. He completely wounds one with the gravity hammer. He is wounded himself, but he drags the survivor off for interrogation. He finds out about Jeddah, who is the local commander of the shock ray forces here on Earth. He finds out that there are 5 more attack squads coming for him. The next scene, he meets Monotone and used a communication remnant to intimidate the Arbiter Magnificent, the leader of the shock ray forces. He agrees to guard the Monotone while he heals, and then that was the end of that scene. You can watch these videos on YouTube or Facebook. Haphazard Projects, just look it up. It's there. And then yesterday I ran episode 3 entitled Vampires, because that's basically what happened. He went to a club trying to discover more about human society and whatnot. He was almost immediately attacked by 2 vampires. He destroyed both of them. So he goes down the streets. Cops hassle him in the streets. And he goes home after dealing with the cops, very worn out, drained after the fight with the vampires. And he realizes that there are 3 vampires that have followed him home. And that is immediately where we are going to pick up today. Episode 4 doesn't have a title yet. It will by the end of it. So, engage the glasses. I will need them. So, Adventure Journal. I'm just going to fill out a few things real quick. If I can get a single page. There we go. Do I need any of this? No, those are all blank, so we're going to move these over here. Get my pencil. Where's my pencil? There's my pencil, hiding. So this is the Ahn Chronicles. Episode 4. Title title to be determined. Chaos factor right now is at 5 because it's a brand new session. Scene 1. Attacked by 3 vampires. So he's literally out in the middle of the street right now, walking back to the warehouse where he had met the monotone, because it's the only safe place he's aware of right now. So he's just outside of this warehouse, this dark, abandoned thing where shadows just completely encapsulate the buildings around. You can barely make out details in this area. It's so dark. The lighting is so poor. It looks frightening in this area of the woods. And I say that metaphorically, of course. So I'm going to ask a couple questions of the opening of the scene. I believe I was aware of them before anything else. Let me refer back to my notes. Let me see, come on. Just need a single page, not 2 pages. Let's try it this way. I have a surprise turn before the vampires get to attack because I saw them first. Alright. So, leading questions. Do these vampires have the same sort of blood magic that the previous 2 had? 73, they do not. They possess some other type of power. Do they possess magic? 70 even. No, they do not. Okay, if they don't possess magic, they don't possess the blood magic. Do they have etheric powers? 85, no. So we don't know what kind of powers they have. So we're going to refer to some tables and find out. We're going to go over here to the meaning tables, and we're going to look at creature abilities, the center column on page 207. And we're going to see what all these vampires can do. So first things first, with a 17 common. Common really doesn't make sense. Common vampires. Maybe they don't have too many powers. Maybe these are weaker vampires. 88. Their powers have been suppressed. Okay. So I'm going to roll one more time. 36. Energy. So their energy powers, their ability, maybe they're psychic energy vampires, but their powers have been suppressed. They're common vampires. Maybe they can't feed. So did they come here to talk to Ahn? Ooh, I rolled a 51, which is just barely a no. So I'm just going to ease that over and say it's a yes. They came here to talk to Ahn. But Ahn doesn't know that. So Ahn is going to attack. So now we're going to come over here and look at his character sheet. So Ahn is still at range. So he is going to use... Let me get... I've got to get roll 20 on my other screen. Of course, I couldn't do it beforehand. One of these days, I'll have a stream that does not have technical difficulties or anything such as that. This screen is completely messed up. I apologize. I thought I had this set up just fine. Alright. just a moment. This won't take too long to fix. I've gotten pretty good at fixing my mistakes. So we're going to lock this in place. Pay no attention to the tabs that I may or may not have open, because those are about to go bye-bye. There we go. Ahn's character sheet. I know it's kind of hard to read, but that's the best I can do at this moment. So we'll just have to muster forth. So I'm going to attack with my plasma rifle. Vampires like to burn. So I'm going to shoot one with my plasma rifle, because I don't know that they came here to talk. Vampires are actually, I'm going to have to re-roll this. Vampires are normally a difficulty 4, but I'm going to say since their powers have been suppressed, these are actually 3s. So this attack roll will succeed, and one of the vampires takes 4 points of plasma damage. The vampires start screaming, saying, "No, no, no, we're just here to talk." Does Ahn listen to them? No, he does not believe them. So he is going to attack once again. The same one with the plasma rifle again. He succeeds to such a degree he does an extra point of damage, meaning he deals 5 damage this time. So let me see here. Vamp 1 has taken a total of 9 damage. But since they're level 3 creatures, they only have 9 health. So that first vampire is destroyed. The other 2 vampires respond by falling to their knees, screaming it on, saying, "No, we're not here for that. Parlay, parlay, parlay." And hope that he understands that. He is not an idiot. He's just very tired. So he says, "What in the world do you want to discuss?" I need to ask the Oracle a couple of more questions. So, how about this? Did a master vampire suppress these vampires' energies? Yes, indeed, that did happen. Are they here to ask Ahn's help? No. I feel like that's kind of a given. They're here to talk to him. They're here to ask for help. So, do they want the master vampire destroyed, or do they just want their powers back? They want this master vampire destroyed completely. I rolled a 2, so that is absolute yes. And this is beyond that confirmation of this expectation. So Ahn listens to these vampires talking about their master and how degrading it has been to live without their powers. Ahn is a soldier, though. Why should I listen to the pleas of my enemy? I should destroy you where you stand. So these vampires are going to try and talk him into it. I am going to roll mental defense, if I can find it, or intellect defense, which I'm specialized in. Their social powers have not been diminished. It's just been their regular magical vampire powers. So I'm going to leave them at level 4, which is the normal level of vampires. Am I able to ignore their pleas? No, I am not. Their pleas fall upon Ahn. They're begging for their lives at this point. You need to do something. This evil that this master vampire is doing could infect the city. He's trying to destroy, maybe take over the city. Is this a bid to take over the city? Yes, it is. So I'm going to interpret that as he is trying to create more vampires, but suppress their powers so that they are more easily controlled. Ahn does not like this. The idea of turning everyone into vampires sickens him, because vampires can be mind controlled by their master. So he agrees to help in this situation. So we're going to write this down in the adventure journal. So he killed one vamp. Others plead for help. Master vampire is making a bid to control New Philadelphia. Alright, we need to find out this vampire's name, because this is annoying me. So we're going to come back to the meanings table. They have a section for names on page 211. So we're going to make a couple of rolls here and determine a name. Got an AR. We're going to go with 3 syllables. 28 S 98 Ya. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, we're going to keep this down to 2 syllables. His name is Yahest. Yahest is the name of this vampire. So, Yahest. Alright. Got the name of the vampire. Let me turn back here. I'm going to ask one more question. And that is going to be a very simple question to the Oracle. All right. Do the vampires have somewhere to go where they will be safe? Yes, they do. So they go off and go to their own shelter. Ahn stays at his. But I have to ask another question now. Were the vampires followed to Ahn's residence here in the warehouse district? No, they were not followed, which is good. All right. Now, I have not run into any doubles that I've rolled so far. So at this point in time, I'm going to roll a d10, and we're going to check and see if the next scene is going to be going as expected, or if it might change. So the expectation for scene 2, before I forget, he needs to gain another fate point, because I keep forgetting that the way I've set the rules up for this game is that he gains a fate point for every scene that he goes through without spending any. So the chaos factor goes down to 4, because now actually no, it goes up to 6 because he was not in control of the last scene. For scene 2 now, we're going to roll and determine if it goes as expected. I did not roll over the chaos factor, so it continues as expected. Alright. So what is the expectation in this next scene? We are going to add the thread list right here. Track down Yahest. Destroy him. Alright. We're also going to add protect weakened vampires. Just because I think that would be fun to see him kind of have to deal with. So we're going to roll on the threads list and see what is going to happen next. What happens to pop up. So I need to roll a d4 because I have that many options on here. Coming from the second part of the table, which means we're going to be dealing with the vampires. Now I need to roll a d4 again. 1. So this is about tracking down Yahest and destroying him. So tracking down Master Vampire. Alright, so Ahn has access to tremendous tracking and sensory tools that he was able to recover at the crash site. So what we're going to do is we are going to roll on locations to see where he's at when the next point of action takes place. First of all, has he found the Master Vampire yet? Yes, he has. Rolling on locations. Where has he found the Master Vampire? So on a 65... Official. Official what though? I'm thinking like a state building, a state government building. 72. A protected official building. So that reinforces what I was thinking. So we're going to go with the state capitol. This Master Vampire is at the state capitol after hours. Ahn has tracked him down. So Ahn, not understanding human customs, tries to walk in. Is the door locked? No. Yes, it is. Tremendously, in fact. So Ahn, knowing he's on mission, decides to break open the door. So I don't have a skill for that. So this is just going to be a might roll. And I haven't recovered anything. So before I decide to break down the door, I decide to catch my breath and recover just a little bit. So I'm going to make a recovery roll for one action. I get back 10 points. So I'm going to get 6 points of might back, giving me 12. And I'm going to add 4 to my speed, giving me a total of 9. This is still not good, considering I'm about to fight a Master Vampire. So actually, Ahn is standing there, getting ready to break open the door, and he stops, takes a breath, and decides this isn't good. So he walks down and he sits down on the steps of the Capitol building in New Philadelphia. And he's just going to chill for 10 minutes. And that 10 minutes gets him another 8 points. So I'm going to add 4 to his intellect, bringing me up to 16. Add 2 to speed. Add 2 smite. This is still looking very bad. So I am going to spend one of my 5 XP to interject something narratively speaking. So I am going to say that there are a lot of wooded trees out in the yard, and that there are no guards. So I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to break off some tree branches, shave them down with my cutter until I have stakes. And I'm going to get 3 or 4 stakes. I'm going to get 4 stakes. 4 stakes. I'm going to put them on my inventory. Alright. That way I have a weapon to deal with the vampires. Or the vampire. Ooh. Are there more than one vampires? Or is there more than one vampire on the scene? Yes. I had to open my big mouth. So now we're going to see how many. I'm going to roll a d6. D6 plus 2. So there are 5 vampires. Okay. So Ahn is sitting here looking at his equipment going, this is too much. This is too much. So he is going to compare the signs from the suppressed vampires to the vampires here. So are the 5 vampires here having their powers suppressed as well? Yes, they are suppressed. I rolled a 35 for that. Okay. So, even though they're suppressed, I don't want to just burst in. There might be hostages, and I don't have any way to determine if there are hostages. So, I'm going to wander around the building. Is there a place that I can find where I can get a better look at the master vampire and the situation that is going on? No, there is not. So there's somewhere in the interior of the building. I can't find a good place to reconnoiter. So I'm going to have to break in. The doors are locked. Does my toolkit allow me to have something that I can use to break in to the Capitol building? Yes, barely, but yes. So I have something. So I'm going to attempt to pick the lock. Now, this is a standard earth lock. I'm going to say that it is demanding, but I have 1 asset because I have proper tools. I have nothing else. So this is just going to be a speed check. I really hope this works. Hey, it succeeded very well. So I managed to pop open the lock. Ahn very carefully opens the door and looks in. Does he see the master vampire? Yes, he does. Do I see the 5 vampires that their powers are being suppressed? Yes, I do. I definitely see them. So I'm going to say they're blocking the view of the master vampire. Does the master vampire have a hostage? No. What in the world is the master vampire doing here? So what we're going to do, I am going to find plot twists. I'm going to roll on plot twists because I still haven't rolled doubles on anything. So, but I'm going to roll a plot twist and see if I can figure something out as far as what the master vampire is actually doing here. 95. Travel. Something to do with travel. Okay. I need something else. I need something else to help build this up. Character. Travel with a character. I have a list of characters, so let's roll on that. I need to roll a d6 due to the sheer number of characters. The result is a 3. This is going to be interesting. 1. Okay. So he is trying to arrange for travel. Pardon me. He is trying to arrange for travel. Please ignore the phone. I apologize for that. I should have turned my phone off. He is trying to arrange for travel for a random Aether. An Aether is a superpowered individual in this game setting. So he's trying to arrange. Who is this Aether? Right now it doesn't matter. So why is he going to the Capitol building to do this? You know, I don't think that really bothers me right now. I think I just want to get rid of this master vampire. He's obviously doing something mysterious. So I'm just going to take him out. So Ahn is going to attack. So I'm going to roll initiative to see if Ahn gets to attack first. Success, so Ahn does get to attack first. So Ahn is not taking any chances. He's going to use his gravity sledge. And I hit. Now, I do a lot of damage with this. The base damage is 8, okay? But I do +6 because of my supernatural strength. So that is 14. 14 damage. I'm going to say this is a level 6 Master Vampire. Which means he has 18 health. And I just did 14 to him. Wow. Master Vampire is not looking very well. Does the Master Vampire surrender? No, he does not. So, does he have the blood magic to enhance his physical capabilities? Yes, he does. So he is going to bump himself up to a level 7 creature. Okay, making it very hard for me at this point. He is going to, let's say Darby, settle down there, okay? We have an invasion of a dog right here. You just can't see him, but he's here. Hey, Darby. Good boy. All right. So, where was I? Darby, you distracted me. No, stop that, okay? Stop. Good boy. All right. Cool. So, he is going to grow claws and deep, vicious fangs, and he is going to attempt to do a double attack, to claw at me twice, and so I have to roll to defend myself with speed defense. Now, this is probably going to hurt. but I can't afford to get hit by the second one. One claw that hit, which means I have 8 might left. This is not good. However, I know I messed him up with the gravity sledge before. I'm going to go ahead and hit him with it again. Not putting any effort into this. Just relying on my training. And I miss. Things are not looking so well for me. The vampire, very angry, goes in for a double claw attack again. I am going to put some effort into it this time. I am going to spend 3 speed, putting me at 8 total, for a level of effort to avoid these claws. Don't have that asset anymore. Okay. And I'm going to use the terrain in my favor. I haven't moved yet, so I'm going to jump from out in the open to behind some cover, and hopefully that will help me dodge. Come on. So I'm going to take that asset back, and we're going to make a speed defense roll. Success. Barely, but it is a success. So I do not get hit by the first claw. However, now I am behind cover. Does the vampire manage to hit me with a second claw attack? No. So I get a special on my speed defense. So basically, the vampire comes in to claw at me again, and I manage to duck in such a way. I hit him with an uppercut that deals the 2 damage that it says for the special. So he's now taken 16 points of damage. But he's going to heal at the beginning of his next turn. So it is the beginning of his next turn. So he heals his level in health. So now he only has 10. He is at 10 hit points. He is at 8 hit points. He has taken 10 damage. All right. And he gets to act. So he's going to attempt to double claw me again. Oh, wait, no, it's my turn. My turn, yes. Gravity sledge him again. Do I want to take advantage of house rules? No. No, I'm not. I'm going to stick to the rules for right now. So gravity sledge. I don't have any effort or the asset for this. So, but I am going to spend for effort. It's going to be 6, so I'm going to have 2 left. I'm going to give myself 2 levels of effort to hit this guy. I'm not trained in this weapon, though. I need to get training in this weapon. I failed to hit with the gravity sledge. So it's swing and a miss. And the vampire comes in, still with the claws. I'm going to say that the vampire re-ups himself and makes himself even more formidable. And so now he is up to a heroic. Now my effort is gone. So he is now a level 8 creature. Statistically, as far as like damage and stuff goes, it doesn't change his health. And I'm looking at this thing. I'm looking at the readings on my computer, my wrist computer, and I'm sitting here thinking, I'm not going to be able to take out this creature. I'm not going to be able to, because as soon as I hit it again, it's going to start recharging. I have no ciphers to help me. I have nothing to help me right now. I need help. So I'm going to try and grab him telekinetically so that I can keep him away from me. All right. I am specialized in this attack. but I'm going to spend effort. 2 levels of effort. And I'm going to spend 1 extra level to hit him. I'm going to spend 1 extra level for damage. Now, my supernatural strength is not going to help me with this because this is my psychic power. So, I use the telekinetic slam to pick him up and crush him like he is a tin can. But I fail. And Ahn feels the defeat beginning to sink in. I can't beat this guy. He's too powerful for me. How am I going to do this? So the vampire, however, his first buff goes away. Ahn does not know this, though. So the vampire, I'm going to check and see if he can rebuff himself again using the Oracle engine. Is this vampire strong enough to be able to buff himself again? I'm going to say it's a 50-50 shot. Yes, he can with resounding success. So he is once again back up to 8. And he is going to attempt to claw at Ahn once again. Ahn is going to try and dodge because he cannot afford to take any more damage. Even the effort is draining him. He just doesn't have much left in his tank to fight against this vampire. He fails. But he gets a success. He gets a partial success on the second claw as the vampire comes in with the second claw attack and cuts me. I managed to pop him in the face, doing 3 points of damage. So he's now suffered 13. However, I've suffered 16 points of damage. So I'm about to be out of it. So what I am going to do is I'm going to test the scene because I don't want Ahn to die this early. So let's test the scene. I do not roll over the chaos factors, therefore events stay the same. I don't like this though. I don't like that. Roll over the chaos factor. I don't know. That should be roll under the chaos factor. I don't know. That's so weird. Okay. So I don't like what happened there. So I'm just going to ask the Oracle. Does someone know that I'm taking this beating? And did they decide to interfere? The answer is no. Ahn drops. He's not dead. Well, no, I'm going to test this. Does the vampire leave me alive for some nefarious purpose? I am going to say this is very likely. It's chaos factor 6, so very likely. Yes. The vampire leaves me alive for some nefarious purpose, which means we're at the end of the session. I have no clue what's about to happen. I have no clue. So we're going to go ahead and call the session here. That was over in 2 scenes. It's amazing. We're going to call this episode Vigilance. I'll write up the effects of the combat under my scene summary, and I've got enough time to go before my next game session, so once I get everything written up, I will probably be back with yet another stream and pick up right where we left off. So for now, everybody, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little one-player scene. Thanks to everybody that worked on the Mythic Game Master Emulator 2nd edition. Again, I want to sing their praises. It is their mechanics that allow me to play this game solo. So they're making my adventures with Ahn very difficult. Very difficult. I don't appreciate that, but I appreciate being able to play. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care.